Good evening, everybody. We welcome to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center here on the campus of LSU following the conclusion of the Baton Rouge Regional. Game 3 played here where LSU has defeated Michigan. We are joined by Michigan head coach Kim Arico to my immediate left. Next to her is fifth-year graduate Emily Kaiser. On the far end of the table is fifth-year senior Leah Brown. We will do the same process we have done throughout the weekend here. We will ask Coach for an opening comment on the game, and then we will direct our first set of questions to the players only, to Emily and Leah first, and then we will dismiss them, and then we will open up the floor for questions for Coach. If you are joining us via Zoom, I do see we have a few. If you have a question, please raise your hand on the Zoom toggle, and we will get to you. With that, Coach, the floor is yours.
LSU is a really good basketball team, and they had a great atmosphere here tonight. They play exceptionally well at home, and we had a chance to go against Angel Reese. We played against her last year when she was at Maryland, and she just had a heck of a game and has really improved as a heck of a ball player. And they were physical and really limited our scoring and didn't allow us to get into rhythm. I thought they did a great job. But proud of our team. At the beginning of the year, we were, picked to be in this position with the loss of our All-American. And, these two guys to the left kind of led our team to a tremendous season. And, it was great to be in this position tonight.
All right, Coach, thank you. We will open the floor once again for questions, either for Emily or Leah. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We will bring a microphone to you. We will please ask you to introduce yourself and your affiliation and direct your question to the player so we know who you are asking. And with that, Jim, we'll start with you in the front.
Jim Klein-Peter with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Emily, would you talk about LSU's defensive pressure? It looked like it really kept y'all from getting into any rhythm.
Denying the wings definitely knocked us out of some of our sets that we were trying to run. Definitely stopped that rhythm you're talking about. I think just that pressure 40 minutes, it gets to you at times. It never really gave us an open look. For sure.
Emily and Leah, you both came back for your fifth years. I was just wondering if you wanted to share any reflections on your time at Michigan with the program.
These are 3 years that, I'll never forget. So far the greatest 3 years of my life, whether that's the relationships I've built with these girls on the team, whether that's people who have already graduated or people who are still here. I think, I wouldn't trade it for the world. We literally put in blood, sweat, and tears together. And unfortunately, tonight didn't go, how we wanted it to. But, just reflecting on the past 3 years and even this season, I wouldn't change a thing. And I think, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And, just super happy to have all these girls by my side.
Yeah, you think about 5 years, it's kind of at the age of 23, it's kind of a lot of your life. But no, super thankful that even for Coach and the University of Michigan that I've just gotten to live out, this dream. Sorry. I think the thought, that I even doubted coming back for a fifth year is crazy now. I'm sorry. I don't usually get like this. I think this is why they're a little surprised right now. No, I've had the time of my life this last year. I'm so thankful that without COVID, unfortunately, you never want something like that to happen, but it gave me this fifth year for the university and my journey. I didn't really get to play a lot at the beginning of my career. So to have this final year was huge.
Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network. Leah, for you, you and Coach Mulkey shared a moment. What could you possibly share about what she might have said to you?
I just think, Coach Mulkey, there's a lot of respect there. Obviously, she's a legend. She was just telling me, great job. Kind of congratulating me on the season that I've had and kind of what I've done for the program. And that's something that even after a loss like that, something like that coming from a coach of her stature, I think that means a lot. And so I think I'll hold that close to my heart for a long time.
Hi, Evan Easterling, New York Times. For Leah, from your perspective as, running the point, what did you see defensively from them in terms of maybe closing off passing lanes, something being open and then quickly closing, or just what they threw at you?
Yeah, I mean, as many people talk about how long and how physical we are, I think we saw a lot of that tonight. They're really letting us play. LSU did a great job of kind of taking advantage of that, really taking a lot of things away that we wanted to do, whether that's pushing us off of passing lanes, riding us off of screens, just really making everything difficult that we wanted to do. So I think, like Emily said earlier, when you're facing that for 40 minutes, it just kind of wears you down, and it takes you out of rhythm and what you want to do. So they did a great job of that tonight.
Chessa Boucher with WVLA Baton Rouge. Leah, what was the message that Kim spoke to you about after the game with the embrace, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I think I answered that. It was just, congratulated me. Said that I was, a great player. Congratulated me on what I've done for this program. Like I said, it meant a lot to me.
Lise Goldman with the Michigan Daily. For both of you, obviously this is both of your last years with the program, but as leaders, I'm sure you've seen the growth of the young players. What can you say about really the future of the program and how people like Layla Feely are going to lead it in the future?
Yeah, I think it's huge. You can think about your time here, but I think even bigger, it's kind of what you leave behind. So I think they're going to do a great job. Layla Feely actually was a huge reason I haven't came back. She had called me and told me that she was gonna work for me all summer, so that when I came back, like this year was gonna be one to remember. Which I mean, without her tonight, it probably would have been even worse. So I think to have her at the head of that next year, I think they're gonna be in good hands for sure.
Yeah, I think echoing off of that, I've kind of taken Layla under my wing, since she's gotten here, especially last year when, I was out for a good chunk and she had to kind of fill in, being a freshman. And I think just the relationship that her and I have built, she's a hell of a basketball player, but I think she's an even better person. She was the first one in the locker room, coming up to us and, making sure we're okay. Just telling us, good job. I think as unfortunate and sad as tonight was, I think seeing her really shine on the stage that we were playing on today in front of this crowd in the NCAA tournament. She did a great job tonight, and she really did keep us in it for the most part. And so, I think just really excited to see what she's going to be able to bring next year, and I think it'll be a great thing. So,
Is that all for the players? We have one more right here. Last question for the players right here on the right.
Hi, Emily, what was the battle like inside with their front court, especially Angel Reese?
Yeah, it was super physical. I know we struggled a lot, or I struggled a lot, just blocking out, she could jump out of a gym. She's long. So I didn't do a great job of that in the first half. But yeah, super physical player. She finds a way to get her shot off. Probably definitely going to feel that tomorrow morning. Wish I did a better job, but yeah, she's a great player.
Emily and Leah, thank you all very much for your time. Congrats on your season and your outstanding careers, and best of luck in your future endeavors. We appreciate it. Pleasure meeting you all. All right, we will now address questions for Coach Rico once again. If you will please raise your hand and introduce yourself, your affiliation, and we will open up the floor for questions for head coach.
William Weathers with Tiger Rag. I wanted to ask about your first shot defense tonight. They didn't shoot a high percentage, but they really killed you on the boards and the offensive boards.
Yeah, we had 3 keys to the game, and one was our, defense and holding them under 40%. And looking at these stats, we were able to do that. We did a really good job until the fourth quarter, but it was the offensive rebounding that really killed us. Emily is a little undersized and probably not nearly as strong as Angel, but she tried to get physical, and then when she got physical, she got called for an intentional foul, which was something that she's never gotten before in her career. So I'm interested to go back and look at that because she told me she thought she had all ball. So I'm interested to see. But, it was definitely their offensive rebounding and their second chance opportunities that really hurt us.
Liza Kushner with the Michigan Daily. On the other side of that was in the first half, I think you scored 15 points. It seemed like they were taking away entry passes and guarding the perimeter pretty tightly. What were they doing that was so effective that you could only score 15 in the first?
Yeah, they were really overplaying. I mean, overplaying. And then when we got the ball inside, they really doubled down and were just taking away passing lanes for any open shots. I mean, Maddie didn't even get a real clear look most of the game. So I thought their defensive pressure and intensity was great to start the game. I thought we got some early inside touches where we were able to score, but then they made an adjustment and took those away. We got some back cuts, too, where we were able to score, but it wasn't on a consistent basis. I thought their defensive pressure was great.
Jim Klein, Peter with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Coach, you made a little run at the start of the second half. Did you change anything there? And did you feel like once you got it under 10 that maybe you could put some things together?
Yeah, I thought we were feeling pretty good. I thought our kids gained a little bit of confidence because we did have a hard time scoring in the first half, and we were able to execute on 2 different sets coming out of the break and score 5 quick points where they had to call a timeout. And once we had it at 10, we felt pretty good. But then I think there was an exchange of probably 4 or 5 possessions where neither team was able to score. So then we went on a little bit of a scoring drought again. But yeah, when we had it at 10, I think we were feeling pretty good. But then things didn't really, go our way.
Hi, Evan Easterling, New York Times. After that run, just how big was that sequence where Reese gets the layup and then off the free throw, they get the offensive rebound and then making 3, that 5-point trip down the court?
Yeah, because it was a 5-point swing by us, and then it was a 5-point swing by them. So it just felt like, yeah, we got momentum, and then the momentum went right back to them off of an offensive rebound again.
One more up here in the front.
I was just wondering if you had anything you wanted to share about this year's senior class, the 2 fifth-years you've had who came back, and then the other players that make up the class.
Yeah, I mean, I think you heard from Emily in her emotional answer, but, I said it at our circle the other day when it was my turn to speak at one of the circles, but, Leah Brown, who transferred here, was recruited by everyone in the country and said, no, I want to come to Michigan. And when she did that, she had to jump through a million hoops and do a bunch of different things. And she said, you know what, I don't care. She took, something crazy like 18 credits and had to pay for a couple on her own to make sure that she had enough credits to transfer because that's how badly she wanted to come to Michigan. And, her 3 years with our program have been tremendous. Emily Kaiser, I talk about her story all the time, a kid that played 93 total minutes, backed up an All-American, but worked every single day. And like she said, she hesitated, after her 4th year, and now she's looking back and said, why did I even have any hesitation by coming back my 5th year? And was an all Big Ten selection, but just a tremendous leader, a tremendous representative of our university and our program. So, just fortunate that I get to coach just such great people. And, you want to talk about Maddie and Michelle, kind of the same thing, and Maddie's story, you guys know it better than anybody. They, our doc the first week there said she might not ever play basketball again. And, here we are, she's gone to a Sweet 16 and Elite 8 and, an NCAA tournament every year possible. So I think, they've been a special group. And I'm fortunate to coach some really great kids at this great university.
Coach, we do have a question from Andrew Kahn with the Ann Arbor News via Zoom. Andrew, if you will unmute on your end and go ahead and ask your question for Coach, please.
Hey, Kim, with the length and skill you have in the program already and have coming in, that you're recruiting, do you feel you're close to matching, an LSU athletically sort of in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, I think their athleticism is tremendous. Obviously, Angel Reese is, I mean, one of the best rebounders, and we had one of the best rebounders in Naz Hillman for 4 years, and Angel Reese might even be better. I hope Naz isn't listening. Than Naz was. She's just really special. I think, Angel Reese's don't come around the block every day. Neither do Naz Hillman. So she's just a real difference maker. But, I'm excited about the players that we have returning, and I'm excited about the players that we have coming in. And I'm also excited about, I think, I spoke about this in the last couple of days, in the age of the transfer portal, we're a program that, we feel like, you develop through your 4 years and we're, coming to Michigan is not for everyone. We're super selective and I just think, that's, the players in our program progress through their time here and improve and buy into that philosophy. So I know there's a bunch of kids, like Emily said, Layla called her and said, come back, and I promise you I'm going to be in the gym every single day, and I'll be a better player next year than I was this year. And you guys had a chance to see that from Layla Filia, but she's a player that's in the gym every morning at 6:30. So I think, our players want to, be coached, want to be great, and want to get better. So I can't answer your question exactly, Andrew, but I'm pretty happy with the players that we have for sure.
Andrew, thank you for your question. Final question for Coach right here in the front.
Taylor Daniels with the Michigan Daily. We saw Leah Brown check out of the game a little earlier than the rest of the senior class. Was she injured towards the end of the game?
Yeah, Leah hasn't been 100% this weekend, and she's a heck of a player. And I just at that point I thought that we were down by a little bit, and I was going to give somebody else an opportunity to come in. But Leah's just been so tremendous for us. She's such a competitor that, even if she has a tweaked ankle, she's going to go out there and give you every single thing that she has, which she did this whole tournament.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure working with you. Congratulations on your season. Thank you. We appreciate everything. A couple of notes for the media that are here in person. Michigan's locker room is still open for another 9 minutes. LSU's locker room is open, and we will be back shortly with LSU head coach Kim Mulkey, Angel Reese, and LaDeja Williams. That's coming up next here in Baton Rouge. Stay with us. We'll be right back.